Game stocks aren't scoring so well, and we've got Dan Gallagher of Market Watch in San Francisco. Tell us all about it. The scores, not good. So what's been happening?
Well, NPD data came out last night for the month of January. January had no major game releases for the month, so everybody expected it to be a weak period, but it was a lot weaker than people thought. Sales of both hardware and software were down 38% from the same period last year. I think most analysts were expecting something more in the 20% range, and so that data has really kind of sparked some fears across the sector.
And Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, normally very strong, significant sharp fall off during January. Why so?
Well, we don't really know that. It was a surprise factor in there, along with a few other things. You have, when you compare it against the previous iterations of that title, especially Black Ops last year, the January sales came down almost by half for Call of Duty. A little bit of that may be going to digital channels, where people can actually download the full game now. There's some of that going on, but this does point to a real specific weakness in this hardcore sector that's normally pretty strong.
Is there anything in the perhaps? I mean, we talked about Apple before, and one of the things that they worry about is eating into sales of current products. So I'm wondering if perhaps there's something similar going on here. Is there some new game off on the horizon, maybe 1 or 2 months out, that people are holding back and waiting for?
Well, in the past, usually the big titles like Call of Duty and Battlefield and those sorts are the ones that people hold out and wait for. It's usually the second-tier titles that you skip over in favor of that. In this case, it's hard to say. It might be that people were just finding more ways to play things. There's more things competing for people's time now, and of course, we already know that mobile and social games are a factor that plays into the sector. But I think the reason you're seeing a bit of a sell-off this morning is I think this data was even surprising to those who are kind of have a tepid view on it.
Yeah, surprising even to the bears there. Now, is there any sense that maybe the consoles that are being used need a refresh, and people are really, I mean, that's the message here, is people want, a new whatever it is for the living room to put in front of the TV?
I think that's certainly possible here, especially if you have core titles like Call of Duty start to weaken. That may be a signal that gamers are like, okay, I know this experience well, give me something new. The Xbox 360 is now in its 7th year. The PlayStation and Wii are in their 6th year. We already know the Wii has really dropped off, and we have this new Wii U coming later this year, we think, or maybe early next. There hasn't been any plans broadcast yet by Microsoft or Sony to update those consoles, but we might see that maybe at E3 this summer. Maybe they'll start to push their plans out.
Yeah, it seems to me like it's about time. I mean,
7 years.
It's about time for there to be some rumors about new chips. That will what will be telling the tale. When about 2004 and 5, we started to hear chatter about the cell chip that Sony was working on for the PS3. So that, I think, will be the signal.
And that's what you'll be keeping your ear to the ground for. Yes, now, are you a gamer? Do you sit at home?
I am not a gamer.
Shooting up things?
I am not a gamer. I generally have a very satisfying experience playing Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. That's the man. Angry Birds doing the damage there. Maybe Dan Gallagher. Dan, you like to game, right?
Yes, sometimes.
And are you feeling that some of these games are getting long in the tooth? Is that the way you're feeling, or are you feeling like, it's okay, I can suffer this?
It's a different question on this console cycle, because what do faster chips give you? Already we have high definition gaming, 3D gaming as possible on these machines, so it's not entirely clear if you just pack in more processing power in there what the new experience is. Consumers aren't going to buy something just on the chip; they're going to buy it on what new can you do with the console. And I think the reason the Xbox 360 has kind of remained strong even in this kind of downturn is because of all the the Xbox Live and all the other features that console offers. People can download cheaper games and play them on there. They're high definition as well. So whether we'll see a new console cycle come out here this summer or not is a good question. But they definitely need to figure out how to get new experiences in front of gamers.
Yeah.